Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings heading out, and it's Kirk Cousins at the helm in his 2nd season in purple and white, 8th year overall. 30 touchdown passes for him a season ago. That's a career high as he aims to get the Vikings back into the postseason. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A 2nd straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They run with Abdullah. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. Here are the stars defensively for the Cowboys. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Broken tackle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Throwing, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. They go play action. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Cousins now from the 50. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch will get 140. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. Let's see if they can continue that in future drives. So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett as they get set for their first opportunity. They'll be led out by the Mississippi State man, now in his 4th season in the National Football League, Dak Prescott.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Madison. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. To throw, Cousins. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Laquan Treadwell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
This will be taken in at the 1. A little juke. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 to score. This is the NFL on EA EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that.
He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 46 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Elliott. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Let's bring it.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Let's go.
3rd and long for Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive.
It's opened after a little bit of a surprise move, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in these, and he's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League, where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They've dropped 5 straight coming in, so right now cherishing this lead. And they've got the football as well, 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on first down. It's caught by Treadwell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Cousins. He completes it to Abdullah. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder coming up tomorrow night. Monday Night Football comes your way, 8:15 Eastern. Seahawks, 49ers from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Prescott looks to throw on first. Got his man there complete to Gallup. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. It's caught inside the 25. A big play here for Dallas. And even 40 yards. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll throw over the middle, taken in. He's at the 50. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 42 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Again, it's Cousins. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And the catch made by Johnson. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out on the West Coast in Oakland. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Derek Carr leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we'll head east to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Seth Roberts, a touchdown catch in the victory. And finally, on Monday Night Football, a good one out west. The Seahawks and the 49ers from Santa Clara to wrap up Week 10. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. In pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking deep, direction of Cooper. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Cooper was the target there. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And he can't dance his way out of this one. Abdullah brought down for the safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Off the play fake, Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. And that's caught inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Ben Heaney charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Prescott now, letting one fly deep for Cooper. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized, you know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Randy Gregory just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Austin. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Prescott lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Anthony Harris. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 34. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Arlington. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So While it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. 23 yards on the play. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Prescott yet again. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He finds his man. It's Austin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. And again, it's Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Elliott looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They go with Abdullah again. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Cousins to throw. It's caught by Treadwell. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On first down, Abdullah. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They'll run inside with a fullback, Ham. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
Well, big man with the ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for Minnesota, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's just